Hi, I'm Mandy Rylance. I'm age 60. I'm a mum and a grandma. I've got a son called Sean and a grandson called Lincoln. I work at Buzz Bingo. I'm a deputy manager here at Barnsley, and every day I come into work, we have a great time, we look after the customers and love every one of them. On the 29th of September last year, I came to work and I had a stroke. I came to work on that day perfectly well, feeling absolutely fine, did all the jobs that I needed to do that morning, and at 11:20, remember the time clearly as my son phoned, and he doesn't normally phone me at work. I answered the phone, still felt fine, put the phone down, and then started to feel slightly unwell. Not sure what was wrong, just felt unwell, so I thought I needed to go to the toilet, set off to the toilet and wanted to lay down on the floor straight away. I started to feel as though I'd got something wrong with my face, but didn't know what. At this point, I had a walkie-talkie, which I got in touch with one of the staff who came upstairs to my office and they phoned 999. I didn't think anything was wrong. I just wanted to lay down and I said I'd be fine. Just leave me 10 minutes, I'd be okay. The member of staff luckily ignored what I was telling her and phoned for the ambulance. The ambulance came and obviously the ambulance staff knew exactly what it was. When they asked me to lift up my left arm, I couldn't do it. And I knew in my own head that there's something seriously wrong. I got blue lighted to Pinderfields Hospital at Wakefield, not knowing what a stroke's really about because I've never thought about it other than watching the advert on TV. I didn't expect that I would be having a stroke and didn't know the consequences of a stroke. Once they got me in the ambulance and the blue lights came on, I was petrified. I felt every emotion going. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't think I'd survive because it felt so dramatic to me. And then when I got to the hospital and they rushed me straight in for a CT scan and MRIs and things like that, at that point I were in bits.
A stroke is most commonly caused by a lack of oxygen to the brain, similar to a heart attack. We sometimes call a stroke a brain attack. The most common symptoms are facial droop, weakness of the arms or the legs on one side, and slurring of the speech. So they can be remembered by the acronym FAST, so F for face, A for arms or legs, S for speech, and then it's time to call 999. This will enable the ambulance service to direct them to the most appropriate place for treatment. If patients arrive at hospital within 4.5 hours, they might be suitable for 2 types of treatment. One is a clot melting drug, and one is a procedure under anaesthetic to remove the clot. Both of these treatments will improve people's chances of surviving the stroke with reduced disability. But we need to get these people into hospital quickly to enable them to have these treatments.
After I'd been on the stroke ward, I was released home, at which point I had the Barnsley stroke community nurses come out to help, and they came nearly every day for a couple of months. The nurses basically showed me how to do exercises to build the strength in my left arm and left leg. I made numerous visits to hospital for the eye clinic and different things to be checked over, which I'm still doing now, and everybody was great. I don't think I would have got back to work like I have done without the help of the stroke team and without obviously the clot busting drug. That was the key to everything: getting to hospital in time, getting diagnosed, getting that drug, and then I'd got the Barnsley stroke team and they helped every which way they could, every department, and without their support I wouldn't have got this far. But the key to everything is getting that drug. I had that drug that has changed my life.
So Mandy did really well. Luckily, people around her recognised the symptoms that she was having were a stroke, and the ambulance service took her directly to the hyperacute stroke unit outside of Barnsley, where she received the clot melting treatment. And she's done really, really well. Her outcome could have been very different if she'd waited and presented later. We have data to support that Barnsley patients on average will attend 15 hours after the onset of their symptoms. This compares nationally to about 3.5. We know that Barnsley patients are really stoic and sometimes don't want to bother anybody, but obviously the sooner they attend the hospital, the quicker we can put these treatment plans into action. and have the best possible chance of the best possible outcome.
I was invited to join the South Yorkshire and Bassetlaw stroke panel, and I was interviewed for that role, and I was actually given the role, and I'm on now a panel of people. There's about 6 people on that panel, and it's a case of getting everyone's stories together and working with the stroke services to try and get the same treatment for everyone and make people aware of what symptoms are.